そのお面取ってよ。なんだか。
ダメだ。時間がない。何から話したらいいのかな。
シュン、一体何が。
全ての問題は人間の心から来るんだよ。人間の心の内、意識というのは氷山の一角に過ぎない。水面下にある無意識の方がはるかに広大なんだ。
違うの、そんな話じゃなくて、シュンに何が起きたのか教えてよ。
それを今説明してるんだよ。人間はどうやっても自分の心を完全に制御することはできない。特に無意識の中では思ってもみないことが起きている。それは呪力において最も顕著に現れるんだ。
Oh hi Amina, Oriwa Trat your desk and welcome back to Trat's Reviews. Today I'll happily be reviewing a series by the name of Shin Sekai, which in English is From the New World. Go watch it right now. That's my review. Okay, in all seriousness, it is one of the best anime I've seen in a while. I marathoned it in 2 days. It's 25 episodes long. Did it in 2 days. The animation is really good, in my opinion. I love the art style. The music is good. It actually has some really solid emotional moments, which affected even my cold heart. My cold stone heart. It's good. So, that is, praising it aside, the series is kind of set up in about 4 arcs, give or take. The first arc is when the main characters are children, like 10 or so. The second arc is once they begin hitting their teens. The third arc is in their late teens, and then the fourth arc is once they've become adults, and moving up to about 22-ish, kind of. So basically the premise of the series, is that it's about 1,000 or so years into the future from today, and the world has been practically destroyed by people with psychic powers. Now, with great power comes great responsibility, as Spider-Man has told us so far. But in the case of the people with psychic powers, there's 2 divisions of how things can go wrong. There's karmic demons, and then there's ogres. Ogres are killing machines, and karmic demons just leak power everywhere, which gradually starts killing anyone anyways, but they're not doing it intentionally. The school committee of the main society that the characters live in, their role is to help prevent as many ogres as possible. Karmic demons are a thing that can't really be controlled, but ogres are at least a thing that they have signs they know to look for. The town absolutely lives in fear of any ogres and karmic demons, because of the fact that there's no real way to combat them. The reason why this is because after the world had been destroyed by people with psychic powers, the people with psychic powers decided to mess with their own genetics and made it so that they are no longer allowed to kill human beings. So in short, what happens is that if an ogre or karmic demon is on the loose, they can't do a whole lot about it, because if they try to kill it, then they themselves will die. And it's not exactly a pleasant death either. But to help prevent ogres and such things from appearing, the school committee keeps track of all younger kids as they grow up, because they don't start developing powers until they're about 10 or so. And if they start developing powers too late, they'll be killed. If they misuse their powers when they're not supposed to use them, they're killed. If their psychoanalysis test doesn't go exactly well, they will be killed. How do they get killed, you may ask? The school committee has weird mutant cat things that live in jars, and they open the jar, out goes the cat, person dies. And everybody in the society acts like they never existed, as you find out with the main character's sister. Yes, this is a dystopian society. Everything looks cheerful at the beginning, but I really love how as the story progresses, it steadily delves more and more into the problems that this world has. And it's just so good. The presentation is excellent. I couldn't really guess most of the parts. I say couldn't really guess most of the parts because of the fact that I did kind of guess part of the ending. It's one of the big bombshells at the end, but I kind of guessed it myself beforehand. That being said, there's multiple big deals that happen at the end, so it's not like figuring out one ruins the ending or anything. But I personally did guess one of the major bombshells that they drop in the last 5 minutes of the series. Okay, so my two favorite things, character development and plot development / ending. There is kind of character development, but not in the normal sense. It's kind of hard to explain without spoiling things, but some of the characters do develop over time, yes, because they start when they're 10, and then it ends by the time they're 22. But not all of the characters develop as much as others, and that causes issues about 2/3 of the way through the series. The main character of the main characters, Saki, is a rather interesting character in my opinion, because she isn't all that spectacular in any given way. You could be entirely correct by saying that she's average. Her psychic powers aren't particularly powerful. It's not like she's a leader or anything. She's just there, but at the same time she gets so much done. And I'm honestly surprised with how well she actually worked within the story. One thing that kind of caused a few issues for some people is that in episode 8 you get to watch some homosexual stuff. It's not really graphic, it's just kissing and then implied sex later. I know for some people that might be a turnoff, so I'm mentioning it just like I did for the Genshiken second generation stuff. But that is kind of a thing. I'm not gonna write it off, though. I'm not gonna write it off, not in the bad sense, but in a good sense, because it made sense in the story. With Genshiken, you have just you just have yaoi stuff for there to be entertainment value, but in here it makes sense, because one way that the people who can use psychic powers, when they genetically modified themselves, they also genetically modified how they deal with stress. Some of you may be familiar with the one kind of monkey ape thing where they all do each other. It's a lot like that. Not saying that the characters get there's orgies or anything, but they use sex to deal with their stress and frustrations in life. So in that sense, it makes sense in the series. While I personally find it bizarre for there to be 13 and 12-year-old bi kids, because last time I checked, not everyone was instantly bi when they were 12, but whatever. It fits in the series, so I can't complain about it too much. I'm just throwing it out there as a heads up. But don't let that be a put off for you so much so that you don't watch the series, because I highly recommend it. Okay. Plot. Like I said, the story covers about, 10 years of the main characters' lives, and there's quite a lot that gets done in 10 years. I am gonna say that the pacing of the series is, in my opinion, really solid, because even though you're skipping time so much, I feel like so much got done in each episode. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I just sat down and marathoned the entire thing in 2 days. That's kind of a big deal, because for most people who know me, is that I'll work on a couple episodes from different series a day, but in this case I solely focused on Shin Sekai until I was done with it, because I enjoyed it so much. I just could not get enough. So if I were to give it a rating, I would give it a 9.8 out of 10. A 9.8 out of 10, because of the fact that one issue being the sex on screen. That was one issue, because I understood its purpose, but I didn't really think that they needed to show it either. But at the same time, that was only for one episode, so I'm willing to forgive it. And the second reason why is because of the fact that it took them a really long time, aka the one part of the ending that I figured out ahead of time. It took them until the end of the series to talk about something that I'd been postulating on the entire time. Like I said, that's just a personal thing. I would give this a 10 out of 10 for being a practically perfect anime, but because of those two reasons, I'm giving it a 9.8. Like I said, you need to watch it. It's on Crunchyroll. Go now, please. That's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have anything you want me to review, please stick it in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Jana.